The Himalayan ranges stretch over the northern part of India, forming an arc. Notice how it acts as a natural boundary separating India from the rest of the Asian continent. Starting from the Indus River in the west, the Himalayas pass through Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. They also run through Nepal and Bhutan, passing through the Indian state of Sikkim. The Himalayas end at the Brahmaputra River in the east, covering much of Arunachal Pradesh. From west to east, the Himalayan range stretches about 2,400 kilometers. On the western side, in Kashmir, the width of the Himalayas is over 400 kilometers. On the eastern side, in Arunachal Pradesh, the width of the Himalayas is significantly less, around 150 kilometers. The variation in the heights of the mountain peaks is more in the eastern Himalayas compared to the western Himalayas. There are several ranges in the Himalayas, some continuous, some broken. The Himalayan mountains are divided into different ranges based on two extents, the north-south extent and the east-west extent. First, let's understand the north-south extent of the Himalayas. There are three parallel ranges known as the Inner Himalayas, the Middle Himalayas, and the Outer Himalayas. Let's look at each of them in detail. Now, the first and the most continuous range is called the Inner or the Greater Himalayas, or the Himadri. This northernmost range consists of the loftiest and the most prominent peaks that have asymmetrical folds. The core of this part of the Himalayan mountains is composed of granite. Because of the altitude, it is covered in snow all year. It is home to a number of glaciers, including the Gangotri Glacier, one of the primary sources of the river Ganga. The world's highest mountain peak is part of this range. Can you name that mountain? Yes, it's Mount Everest. This peak lies in Nepal and its height is about 8,848 meters above sea level. The average height of the mountain peaks in the Greater Himalayas is about 6,000 meters. Let's look at some of the highest peaks in the Greater Himalayas. So first up, we have the Namcha Barwa and the Kamet, both of which have an altitude of 7,756 meters. The Nanda Devi has a slightly higher altitude of 7,817 meters. Then in Nepal, we have the Annapurna at an altitude of 8,078 meters. Next up, India makes an entry again with the Nanga Parbat at an altitude of 8,126 meters. Back in Nepal, again there is the Dhaulagiri, which has an altitude of 8,172 meters. There is also Makalu at an altitude of 8,481 meters. And we're all aware of India's second highest peak, Kanchenjunga, at an altitude of 8,598 meters. And the Mount Everest in Nepal stands at an altitude of 8,848 meters. The next range of the Himalayas is the Himachal or the Lesser Himalayas. They lie to the south of the Greater Himalayas. They are composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. Unlike the Greater Himalayas, this mountain range is discontinuous. The mountain peaks in this range are between 3,700 meters and 4,500 meters tall. The average width of these ranges is about 50 kilometers. Within the Lesser Himalayas, there are three prominent mountain ranges. The first one is the Pir Panjal range. It is the longest and the most prominent range in the Lesser Himalayas. Most of the Pir Panjal range lies in Jammu and Kashmir. The mountain range ends on the northwestern side of Himachal Pradesh. The Kashmir Valley, which attracts tourists from all over the world, is located in the middle Himalayan range. Next is the Dhauladhar range. Now this range lies entirely in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Lastly, there is the Mahabharat range, which lies in Nepal. There are many famous valleys and hill stations that lie in the middle Himalayan range, like Dharamshala in Kangra district, Manali in Kullu district, and Shimla. So, the next time you are visiting one of these hill stations, you will know which mountain range you are at. Don't forget to show off all this knowledge in front of your family. Now, let's go further south and learn about the outermost range of the Himalayas, the Shivalik range. The Shivaliks run parallel to the Greater Himalayas. This range starts from the Potwar Plateau, which lies in Pakistan, and continues till the Brahmaputra Valley in the northeastern India. Shivaliks have a width of about 10 to 50 kilometers, and their altitude can vary between 900 to 1,100 meters. An interesting thing happened in the regions between the Shivaliks and the Lesser Himalayas over time: the formation of dun valleys. Let me explain how this happens. Suppose a river encounters an obstacle in its course, say a mountain. This may cause the river water to accumulate on one side of the mountain, forming a temporary lake. Over time, sediments like thick gravel and alluvium will accumulate at the bottom of such lakes. Eventually, the river may find weak rocks in the mountain that erode and provide a gap for the water to pass. Then, the accumulated water will flow forward again, leaving behind a dry lake or a dun valley in its place. Does the word dun sound familiar? You must have heard of Dehradun, right? This city is actually a dun. Kotli Dun and Patli Dun are some of the other well-known duns. The Himalayas have also been divided on the basis of regions from west to east. In this case, the demarcations among the different ranges are done according to the presence of river valleys. The range lying between the Indus and the Satluj rivers is known as the Punjab Himalaya. Regionally though, it is called the Kashmir Himalaya or the Himachal Himalaya from west to east. Moving further east, we can see the Kali River. The part of the Himalayas between the Satluj and the Kali rivers is called the Kumaon Himalayas. Most of this part of the Himalayas is found in the state of Uttarakhand. Between the Kali and the Tista rivers lie the Nepal Himalayas. In the northeastern region of India, between the Tista and the Dihang rivers lie the Assam Himalayas. Here, can you see the eastern boundary is marked by the Brahmaputra river? The Himalayan ranges beyond the Dihang Gorge bend sharply towards the south, and these ranges are called the Purvanchal or Eastern Hills and Mountains. They form a sort of boundary between India and Myanmar. The mountains here are covered with thick, dense forest, due to heavy rainfall and a relatively warmer climate. The mountains in these ranges are mostly composed of sedimentary rocks like strong sandstone. The Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, the Manipur Hills, and the Mizo Hills are some of the hills that make up the Purvanchal Himalayas. Oh, what a fun ride! Now you are an expert regarding the Himalayas. Congratulations! You can now plan your expedition around these majestic mountains.